Hi, I am Sheryl from Sheryl Z Photo, and today I'm going to show you how to get started in volume photography. Come join me. So let's get started. The first thing is organization. It is probably one of the most important steps in the process is getting organized. I use Got Photo for my online software. The beauty of it is I get the list of names, the roster. I can upload it ahead of time with parent emails, parent phone numbers. There's all different capture methods, but it is your first step is organizing all the kids so you know who you're shooting, how many kids you have. You can map out your teams, map out the organization of your whole day. So I am a big believer in multi-posing. The more photos you give a mom to look at, the more apt she is to buy all. So if you have a child in front of you and you take one photo of her, mom's gonna buy one. If you take multiple photos of her, mom now looks at it differently because she has to have it all. It's gorgeous imagery of her child. So she gets very excited. How did it increase my revenue? Well, mom got an email to her phone and a text to her phone that she pressed a button, saw the galleries in the convenience of her home, not standing there to shoot with a paper order form, trying to figure out what to guess that she's gonna order. This is a finished gallery, finished pictures. They're beautiful and gorgeous. There's no guesswork anymore. Mom sees all of them, and trust me, they want them. So they buy more than you always think they're gonna buy because it's in front of them finished. And if they choose a digital download, boom, it's there in 5 minutes. It also takes all of the heavy lifting away from you as a photographer. So how many hours did you spend sorting pictures and uploading and printing and sending off to the parents and communicating one by one? Everything's done for you. I upload after shoot day into the software, boom. It's that simple. Mom orders, it goes to her. I just get the ding on my phone with how much money. Before your shoot day, the best advice I can give you is to be organized. We are very detailed and organized about our setup. We use the Westcott lights. We make sure that everything is plugged in and charging the night before. Charge your triggers to your camera, charge your camera batteries. Make sure everything is seamless. Get your workflow, whether you're using QR codes or a tagging system, whatever it is, make sure everything's ready to roll and you're organized. So like my box is sitting there with my QR codes, my camera batteries are ready to go. Everything's seamless so that there's no hiccups or mistakes. We actually have a detailed packing list and every single thing gets checked off. If it's not checked off, it means you don't have it. How many times have you heard a photographer say they showed up at a shoot and I can't believe I forgot this? We've done it. We forgot camera cards once. It happens. And there you are to shoot, running to go to a store to find a camera card. So trust me, the detailed list, check it off. Our setup, you'll see, is color-coded on the light stands, color-coded on the lights, so that the people that work for us who are 14, 15, and 16-year-old girls can set up. One of the key things is I'm a composite photographer. We shoot composite and headshots on site. So sometimes we'll have 2 or 3 setups and multiple stations, and they all need to be the same. So when you're compositing, all those stations need to match perfectly, hence the checklist. Everything has to be identical. All of our stations have the same lights, the same stands, the same camera, the same tripod. Everything's measured by distance. We actually take a measuring tape, and I have all those measurements, and we make sure that everywhere we go, it's the same. Today's gonna be exciting. We're gonna show you our setup for compositing, and we're gonna show you our setup for headshots. And the two together is magic. We are a on-location shoot photographer. So 90% of the time, I'm not in my studio, I am on location. So for me, fast, efficient, easy setups, repeatable are what matters. And sometimes you're in very small spaces and you have to make do with where you have to maneuver and go. So that is what is so important to me. Years ago, I did the big Marley floor and the huge backdrops. I wanted to find a way to get away from that so that I could set up anywhere and fast. So behind me is my headshot setup. and my individual shots. And what I love, the Lastolite, and I just try to explain it as a big light box. Basically, there's a light in it and a main light in front of it, and that's it. It's a 2-light system. So these, I usually have 2 set up, and then my headshot station. We use the Lastolite for our group and individual photos. We composite only. I do not shoot traditional anymore, and I haven't for a long time. So for me, for example, their first pose is their group or team pose, and then we run through the individuals with jumping, leaping, gorgeous imagery. So what I love about the Lastolite is it's a big light box. So the one light that's in it, it's actually directed a little bit at the back, and we keep it with the reflector on it. I don't do it bare bulbed. I feel like that's too harsh. So that's that light. And then we have the main front light, and we use a beauty dish. That to me is the most gorgeous imagery. I've seen people use other soft boxes, umbrellas. That is your choice. This is what I feel like for all the stuff I shoot, which is cheer, gymnastics, and dance, this gives me the most dynamic imagery there is. The shadows are perfect, things like that. I keep my light kind of straight on, not off to the side, but a lot of times I've seen with baseball, football, they'll put the light a little more dramatic for more dramatic shadows. For me, this is where I leave it. We don't change anything. Once we set up, we are done. One of the things that is so important to me is that if a child misses photo day, they can come to me. If a kid's sick, if they're away, there are circumstances, and I always want any child not to be left out. So they can come to me a month later, 2 months later. I just added somebody in 6 months later, and you wouldn't know they weren't there. So that is the point of it being repeatable and everything being dialed in exactly the same. So everything's color coded, so my team knows where everything goes. It's also labeled on the stands to this is my A station, A10 is my Lastolite, B10 is my backlight, this is my yellow station. Everything's very easily set up, and that's what makes it nice. And again, repeatable, repeatable, repeatable. I always have 2 Lastolite setups, always at a time, so 2 cameras going, and kids line up and they can go to either line. That's the whole point of it being exactly the same always. It never changes. So I don't need one team to go to one and one team to go to the other, or one dance group to one. They line up and they can filter through. Settings. It is subjective to where you are. Whether you're using a light meter or not is up to you, but the actual settings, so this is on 6.7, but if the shades were up, that would be different. So again, if you take my settings and write them down, I call it a starting point, but maybe not exactly where you'll need to be on your shoot. So please keep that in mind, that it is subjective, your surroundings, your lighting, your ambient light, all of those things. This point is at 6.7 right now, and this one back here is at 6 right now. But again, subjective to where you are. One of my favorite things, you guys know, is my silhouettes. I've been teaching them forever. They just make my heart smile. I think they are phenomenal. And this is probably my favorite thing that happened with Westcott was creative masking. So I'm going to show you how we turn it on and then show you how we used to shoot it and how we shoot it now. This is Whitney. Can you say hi? She's adorable. Whitney does ballet at one of the dance studios that we shoot. So I thought she would be a great example for you guys to see how we composite, how we go about the day. So we're gonna start with her. And normally my poser would be here posing you, right? Yeah, she was busy today. So we're gonna stand on that X, and I want you to be mindful because I'm gonna be shooting of where your toes are for the first shot. So for her group pose, number 2 over there. Can you do that? Perfect. We would normally get into creative masking, and as you know, my silhouette shots are my baby and my most favorite thing. So what's so great about these lights is that I no longer have to turn the trigger on and off. So now we can set them, and I'm gonna show you how we do that, and I no longer have to. Old school, you had to turn them on and off. So watch, this is even better. It is so simple to set the lights. You just go to the 3rd menu, mask, On, frames. I want it to be the second frame that shot, but you can choose that depending on what you're shooting. Sequence. I want it the second. Menu. It's menu, you go to the third menu again, mask, on, frames, to, sequence, all, because I want it to fire all the time, menu, and we're ready to roll. Now that creative masking is set up on my strobes, I can sit down and just shoot. It happens so fast. My first shot is regular, my second shot is my silhouette. I can keep a child in the same movement, sometimes within the same leap, because I can fire off so quickly. So I'm never reposing her unless it is a leap or jump that requires it. It's nice because what used to be 3 minutes per kid, I can cut that down to 2.5, sometimes 2 minutes, because it happens so quickly. Simultaneously, I'm shooting off my regular imagery and my silhouette so fast. You can see how fast it happens. That was a regular and silhouette done so quickly. It's literally just pressing the button. I don't even have to touch the trigger at all, which helps with a lot of accidents. So silhouettes require a girl to hold a pose or do a leap twice or a motion or movement twice. Back in the day, we would take a photo and then we have to literally put the light to sleep and take another photo. I used to use a Christmas tree switch and that evolved to triggers. And I have to say, Westcott was the easiest trigger with that because it's literally one touch. Turning the light on and off might not seem difficult, but when you have 40 kids lined up behind you and you need to get through with volume, you've got 2 minutes per kid, 2.5, 3 minutes, it becomes overwhelming. So my line that maybe took 3 minutes, I'm now down to 2.5 minutes, which in a long line of kids, that's amazing. I'm a big advocate on having a poser. As you can see, this is Ryan. She is my main poser, an amazing and incredible dancer. And Katie. Posing makes your day go faster. It makes your day efficient. And you, if you're not a dancer, would never know the correct hand positions and things like that. So I'm a big advocate that as a photographer, you sit and shoot and know your lighting, know your camera, know your craft, and hire posers to do that part, whether it's gymnastics. We have gymnastic posers, cheer posers. Sometimes you have dance schools where the owners will want to pose or they're dance teachers. And these are all things that you can consider, but you should have somebody doing the posing for you. I always rely on pose boards because they give you what to feed off of for your posers, as well as gives them all the ideas of how to pose them and what to use. And then we also ask them what's in their dance. So as a poser, she would be in tune to say, what's in this dance? Let's do something from it. Things like that. So that's why it's important to have a dancer pose dancing. Do you want to do a pose with her and show?
Sure. We're going to step on the X. In fourth, our arms are going to go around and our leg is going to brought up to passe, turned out. So you're going to passe and lean away. So drag your hip this way, arm this way.
Beautiful. Stunning. And that's what makes the difference. So when she was doing that, I would be sitting and catching it so she didn't have to do it 3, 4, and 5 times. And ultimately, when the picture's in their hands, she's at the level, she's too advanced, that if her hands are wrong, it matters. So especially with dance, I think it truly matters that their feet position, hand positions, all need to be correct. So that when mom sees them, everyone's happy. Creative masking allows me to fire off these shots so quickly and efficiently. I'm not touching the trigger. There's no mishaps that could happen. You just literally focus on shooting and catching the action. So go ahead, Ryan, can you pose her in the tilt?
Yes, okay. So we're gonna do Tendu, arms out, look away.
Again. So it shows you how fast and easy. And now pose her in the first pose, and you can see that I don't have to repose her.
Force arch above the head, this arm open, yeah, good.
It was that quick and simple. So with that action, we just got a silhouette and a regular shot. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone knows the headshots are my favorite. I could not love these more. My setup's a little more complex. Again, once I'm set, nothing changes. One of the things I always mention is my front light is a little bit relative to your height. It just needs to be right over your head. This is my favorite for my front light. I use the Rapid Box Switch Octa L. It just gives you the most beautiful light. It's very soft and very pretty. A beauty dish for me is a little too harsh, and you get all ages, all skin tones. So this is really just a beautiful wash of light. I use the FJ800 for my front light. I like that that's a little more powerful, and that's everything again is color coded. This is my red station, so you'll see all the red tape on everything. I do have my fan, which everyone knows I love. And probably my most favorite is my highlighter. Everything about this, the way it illuminates your face is stunning. Try it at home, you'll be shocked at the difference. So it really does illuminate their eyes, and so you can see all of their detail. Behind me, I use the Rapid Box Switch 1x3, and I have 3 of those with the FJ400 2s. And these are my hair lights. I like the grids in them. I think it just softens things up a little bit. So I have 2, and then this is for creative masking, which we'll show you in a little bit, but this is solely here for that purpose. And then my gel light, I use the FJ200. One of the invaluable things I love about the FJ lighting system is that you can go on battery power or you can be plugged in. So it's nice because if we can be plugged in, we'll always have at least one battery plugged in that we can then swap out if we need to. But if you can't be plugged in, the batteries really last long. So I really don't ever have much trouble where I need to swap them out. But if I'm close to an outlet, I will just keep one plugged in just for safety. And let's not forget the mats. They weigh absolutely nothing. Even I can lift them and we can unfold them. So if they're siblings or not, and I stack these for height. So if a child's 4, I'll put 3 of them. If they're older, I don't need any, but I won't move any lights or the eye lighter. Everything is set and doesn't change. And I don't know how many of you have walked into gyms or dance studios and you go searching for mats for the kids to climb on, and they're heavy and cumbersome. And I never want to walk in and look for things to use anywhere I go. I walk in set up and ready. I don't need anything. One of the things I absolutely love with creative masking is what you can create with headshots that people don't even realize they can create. It is phenomenal. So when I'm on a volume shoot, I'd love to be able to add a little bit of drama and mystery to the shoots, but when you have 20 kids lined up, you just can't do it. So I would wait at the end of the day, and a few kids would get that extra special touch, and then guess what? Other moms were getting mad. So this actually blows my mind, but now every child can have the gorgeous headshots as well as the dramatic headshot. But I do it in a sequence of 3. And the reason is I'll have her hold the pose for 3. The first 2 shots are just the gorgeous headshot, well lit, beautifully lit. And the third, I have them turn their head away towards the light, and that is my drama shoot. That is that dramatic shot. And the reason I do 2 is almost like a safety net. So if the first one, they blinked or their eyes or their smile was off, you have a backup shot, and the third is always the dark dramatic shot. And what's beautiful about them is you literally just crop them. and you're done. Like, I don't have to do anything to them. The dramatic dark ones are just stunning. And if you wanted to run like a little quick filter on them, that's the most you have to do. So I truly get so excited. And then you go through the first two, pick the better of the two, and delete one. It takes a couple minutes, and trust me when I tell you, you'll be blown away by how gorgeous your headshots are. So I'm gonna show you. Go ahead, Katie. So it's 1, 2, 3. And it's absolutely stunning every time. What's nice is, I think, I'm gonna call it old school. You couldn't do this. It's impossible on a volume shoot to ever give this level of creativity and gorgeous imagery to a mom when you have a line of 20 kids. Now I can do it every single shoot with every child, and it blows me away. It's stunning, and I'm so thankful that the evolution, like Westcott, changed my world. When I set the lights, every light fires, the kickers in the back fire every sequence. The gel light fires every sequence. My drama, gorgeous creative light fires third sequence only. And my main front light fires the first two sequences. So that way the first two, my main light's going off. The third one, the main light is turned off. And that's when that side light comes into play, and that fires the third one. And that's how you get the drama, because this light's now off. So when I used to do this before, I would have to physically move one of the kickers forward to make it happen, and then on my trigger, turn the front light off. And as you can imagine, when there's a line of kids, when you move that light, then I have to move the light back, turn this light back on. And that's why it couldn't happen. It just took too much time. And I felt like with a line of kids, it wasn't realistic in a volume setting to make this happen. It would be something I would only ever do in my studio. And now I get to do it with every single child, which to me, the glamour headshots is when you watch a child come to life in a very different way. You are creating such beauty for them, and the moms go crazy. It's not very often in my workflow I get excited. I have been doing this. I'm a very seasoned volume photographer. I've been doing this 30 plus years. And there's very few things that come along that are game changing, that are creatively blow my mind, but also make my job easier and bring about a new facet. Creative masking has done that. It's brought out a new facet where I can show off the silhouettes in a whole new light, and the silhouettes to me are gorgeous. And now I'm able to create the imagery not only on the last light with the individual photos, but to create that in the headshots. It just takes things to a whole new level creatively, and what you're delivering to mom and dad, what people see in you as a photographer. And I'm already shooting it. You're already posing them, you're already shooting it, you're already lighting it. So why not do one simple thing? And I hate to say that, but one simple thing of adding the creative masking will change your world. It is mind-blowing, I swear. And again, it's not often I get that excited, and I'm excited. After the shoot is when the magic happens. So here we go. This is when we can load everything into Got Photo, look at our beautiful imagery, and breathe. We did the hard part. That's over. And now we come home, upload everything into the system, and here we go. The dashboard is so intuitive and easy to use. It's actually one of my favorite parts of all of this is it is all step-by-step right there for you. You upload the images. In my case, I send them off to NextGen for them to be composited and let them do the work. When you see the main page of the dashboard, you can actually click on your photo jobs. You can go through the products and pricing lists. You can see your orders, your statistics, see how things are going there, and what's selling, what's not selling for yourself, and communication. So the ways you're going to contact the parents, whether it is the initial put to selling and they get communications that the job is live and they can go see their photos, to sending newsletters to let any of your customers know anything pertinent going on. Having that coupon code is vital. It is the communication, automation, email, text that goes out to the moms. And I love it because from day one on my QR code on my card that goes with mom, it has my coupon, and my coupon is 10% off of 100. Why, you ask? Why not off of $50? Because I want mom to spend $100. That's my bottom line. I do not want mom to spend less. So her coupon code starts at 100 because from that very first engagement with mom, I'm encouraging her to spend $100. She sees it on the physical card. She knows she gets a discount. Now when the job goes live, she gets her first communication. The first automated email and text go to her, letting her know it's live, letting her know the coupon's going to expire in 7 days, 5 days, 3 days. Your coupon's going to expire tonight. It creates an urgency. And trust me, it works. Mom wants the coupon, wants the deal, and I want mom to spend at least $100. So that 10% is enough, and they get free shipping with that. That's enough to push mom up into that next tier. Thanks for joining us today. I hope that it was super informative, that you learned a lot. I hope that you were excited to see the processes I use. We just scratched the surface. There's so many things you can do with the lights, the software, and all the different systems out there, and find your process. And that's the most exciting part. So I hope you had fun, and thanks for tagging along today.